decided to do a restring on this Squire Bullet that my wife bought for me for Christmas back in 17, and we've done modifications to it, and actually now it's her guitar, and she loves it, and it's wonderful, but we need to get these old strings off and put on some good ones. The ones we have right now are these D'Addario 10 to 46 EXL 110s. They're good strings. I've always enjoyed them. But I recently found out that these ones, D'Addario NYXL 10 to 46, they're coated, so they last a little bit longer. And I thought maybe we'll put these on this time. So let's get started. Now, I want everyone to know that we are not sponsored or paid by anybody to use their products. We use what we enjoy, and it's what we think is sensible as to what we want. And I hope everyone out there will take that advice to heart. So what we're going to do now, this is a auto string winder, unwinder, whatever you want to call it. That's how it works. 4 little AA batteries inside. Let's unstring it. Let's see. Oops. Gotta get it in the right spot there. Not that one. Alright, let's let it go. Now, if you notice, the tuning keys on here, anybody who understands a Squire Bullet, that is not the original set of tuning keys. The original set of tuning keys were not exactly up to par to what I would like to have on my guitar. When it was my guitar, and we're going to cut these off right down here. This makes life a little simpler. But those tuning keys that were on here originally were what I call the POS brand. They weren't really that good, and they had a hard time keeping the guitar in tune. And so I replaced them with what are Fender vintage style tuning keys. Give me a second. Trash can. That's where it goes. And we just pull them all out. And there's 6. And you notice with D'Addario, I like that the strings have that little color code. Keeps me from getting confused, because let's face it, I went to public school. But you can save these, and you can clip them off, and you can make jewelry out of them. It's cool. I've done it for my wife. Now, let me see. I want to go over the modifications that we did. These are split top Fender vintage tuning keys, and they work really great. They're very solid, and I prefer those on any of my guitars to anything else. Also, right here are string trees, and these are called rollers. And I like those because they're very simple. And yes, I did have a couple of issues when I did the modification. Now also, the pick guard was originally black with black knobs, and Claudia got the guitar from me, and she was really enthralled with the idea of a pearloid white pick guard, because she's a very big fan of another guitarist, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and one of his guitars had that. So I went about trying to modify that as best I could with colors and everything. I think it turned out quite nice. So anyways, let's get down to some cleaning and some tightening, which you always want to do whenever you are working on your guitars. Every 6 months or so, you're going to wind up restringing. You're going to be taking care of this and that. So we're going to work on tightening, like right now. These all feel pretty solid. Now, a lot of times your other tuning keys will have a little nut, and it's generally a 10 millimeter. But we're not going to need to do that. Down here on the knobs, just wiggle. And if you feel anything loose, you can pop these up, and then you take your 10 millimeter and very gently turn. And don't use it like a torque wrench. Just turn it tight enough. You're not doing plumbing. Put the knobs back on, it's fine. And by the way, this is a 5-way blade switch. So what that's going to do is you have a humbucker here. You have it as a single coil in this first position. That's a full humbucker. Here you're splitting between here and here. You're going to have both pickups working, and then here you can have both pickups working. Here, that pickup's working. That's the way it works. Down here, check your output jack. Just try to grab a hold of it. It's easier if you have a socket, but I don't have one available at the moment. Well, that's solid though, I can feel it. So let's get to some cleaning. I've got some Dunlop 65 guitar polish and cleaner. We're going to do the whole guitar. Like I said, we're not sponsored or paid by anybody to use this stuff. It's what I like. It's what I've learned is the best for me over the years. Shake it up just a little bit. And don't spray it on the guitar directly. Spray 2 or 3 spritz. Now, wipe it all over it. In between the pickups, the bridge. It's going to take off all the nasty, anything that's built up on it. Elbow grease. Get down in there. Make that pretty too. And yeah, we're going to do the back side. And if you need to add a little bit more of the polish on there, do it. It's not going to hurt it. In fact, I think I will. Oops. Not much. You can see the back of this guitar is pretty clean. Not a whole lot of belt buckle scratches or dings and bangs. This guitar has been taken care of. Let's say that's good. What was that one spot? Alright, we're done with that. Oh, we do need to do the neck. This is a satin neck. There's a very, very minor finish on it. Something that I like. I'll just wipe the headstock off too. And just go ahead and wipe off the fretboard just to get any dust or anything. Alright, next. Now we're going to lubricate the fretboard because we need to do that. After you take these, which are Jim Dunlop. Oops. These are called fret collars. Fret collars. You take one out. Oh, by the way, these frets are what are considered medium jumbo. And I think they're stainless steel. You take one like this, lay it over. Oh, that's too small. That's a smaller one. Here's the one we're going to use right here. Now, I'm just going to take this. This is just household little scrubby pad. Much, you know. I'm just going to get a little white. We're just getting any little dirt and grime off the top of the frets. We're not doing a full dress. It's called dressing the frets on this. We're just making them shiny and pretty again. If I want to do a full dress on the frets, well, there will be some nail files that you can get down Sally Beauty, of all places, that work great. You wouldn't believe what you can find just in a regular hardware store or a nail salon even, just to work on your guitars. It's that simple. And it takes this much time, which is what, 3 minutes maybe? And I don't remember how much these fret collars cost, but I think they were less than $20 for the set. And they help protect the fretboard from any abrasive material you may use getting your frets cleaned up and pretty again. you guys have any other ideas on how to do this, any comments or concerns even, don't be afraid to email me. biggie1701e@gmail.com. So we did that. Now, put this away. We're still going to use this. And one thing you do is always kind of wipe it off. Okay. And believe it or not, if you do a full dress on your frets, the metal bits that come off of here, even how microscopic they are, they can attach to your magnets on your pickup down here and down here. So if I were doing a full dress, I would have taken some blue painter's tape and covered all of the pickups. But we're not in that position right now, so we're not going to worry about it. Alright, next. This is lemon oil. Dunlop. And I enjoy using this. It works best for me. If you find something else that works better for you, then go for it. Now we'll take this, we'll start down in here, and you notice a big difference. And yeah, don't worry about being sloppy. You can always wipe it off. This is not going to soak into your polyurethane finish. Come up over here. Now if you look, and you can see, there's a big difference right now between the color of this, how light it is, and the color of this while this is soaking in, how dark it is becoming. This is a rosewood neck. But after about 6 months, your neck is going to not be as lubricated, and you're going to want to do this. Put this stuff on, and you don't really need to squeeze it. You just put a little pressure on the side, just a little bit. Don't worry about getting too much on, because we're going to wipe it back off here in a few minutes. We'll let it soak in for about, I don't know, let it soak for 3 to 5 minutes, and you should be good. I even always hit up here just to make it look pretty. Alright, that's enough of that. Well, sort of. You see it soaking in. Look at the edges. And of course that always makes me over lubricate, but I don't care. At least I know it's done right. So that's how you go from that step to this step to that step, and you don't need to keep a whole lot of tools out just because you think you do. So we're done with these. And this is a little file I have, and that is for whenever the you have fret sprout. That's when you get the guitar and a little bit of the fret is still sticking out about yay far, and you get what you call a chainsaw effect, where it's feeling rough on your hands. We're going to go over that in another video, but you can file these down, and I've already taken care of it. But yeah, I always keep these all together. Now that should be enough of that. Let's take the sponge. Let's go ahead and wipe. This should do good. Little rotating wipes. Make sure you get inside all the grain. I used to have a 1984 reissue Fender Stratocaster of a 61. I didn't know about this at the time of keeping your neck lubricated, and up here I wound up having splits in the wood. I don't have the guitar anymore, but alright, next let's go ahead and take this, wipe along the sides. That should be good. Now, I think we're ready for some strings. So we'll take these. See, I gotta be smarter than the package, so give me a second. There it is. That. There. And by the way, from what I understand, you can take your old strings and you can recycle them through D'Addario, and they will send them to charitable outfits who will actually use those balls and parts of the old strings to create jewelry that could be sold to benefit certain charities. So what they have here is a little color code guide, and it shows you not just the color, but also the gauge, depending on millimeter and inches, SAE. And you get a little advertisement here for a cool little pedal. What is that? Lock knob. Lock in your settings. Oh, it's for a little knob right here. And some cool guitar picks. That came in the pack. The sort of thing you get with them. So let's get started here. Grab some scissors. All right. Oh, and on the back it's idiot proof, okay? Oh, I didn't need scissors. Ziploc bag. If I wasn't such a big eater, I could use that for my lunch for my chips. So.
Fancy, fancy.
Now they do have two strings wound together at the same time. And since they did that, we're going to go one string at a time, starting from top and then going to the next one on the bottom. Both of these are going to be our E strings. And this is where I'm going to sit down. Because it'll make life a lot easier. So, according to our chart, our first string is the brass one. So we have to undo this right here, which isn't hard. That's it. Let go. Let go. Ta-da. Alright, cool. Now, we're going to take these. Down, grab your brass, which is your low E string. That's the one on top. Lay it right here for a second. We're going to take this one and put it right there. We'll come back to it. Now.
That's the high E, right?
It's a low E.
No, the other one.
No, that's your A string.
Yes.
Yeah. Go through here. And yeah, getting through that little saddle. Which, by the way, these are saddles. This is your bridge. These are your saddles. And you have adjustment screws up here on top. So you can set your action, which we'll go over later. And you have springs with screws here to pull these forward or back. That helps your intonation. We'll go over that. Down. Now here's a trick a lot of people need to learn when you have vintage tuners. Okay. What you do is you go ahead and pull it sort of tight. Don't crank on it. Just pull it sort of tight. Bring it up. Here's where you're going to put the string. Bring it up to here. All right. That. Right about there. Clip. That's trash. Now you take it. Now there's a little itty bitty little hole right in here in the middle. Push it down inside until it stops. Bend it over. Crank, and that's when you're ready to do this. You're going to tighten it. Oh, alright. Here we go. Now hold it. Pull back. Alright. Now you can see there's only like one wind on there, maybe two at the most. I'm not going to tune it yet, but that's where you want it, so that's why you bring it up to here. And the next one will go from here to here, next one from here to here, next one from here to here, and then you're going to be here, and you're going to come up to here. This one, you're going to come out to about here. So you got to think about like 1.5 inches for each one. Alright, let's do the high E. This is the low E. We're going to do the high E. The reason for that is to keep the tension on the bridge the same, especially when this one, it has a tremolo system, a little whammy bar that goes in here. And we'll go through that too later. So let's get this undone. And I know my wife appreciates it whenever I work on her guitars, but the truth is, she's been learning how to work on guitars too. Recently, last summer, I got a really cool kit guitar that was a copy of a Gibson Explorer for Father's Day. It's a wonderful thing to have because I got to work on it and make it my guitar. I didn't paint it like anybody else. I didn't do any finish on it like anybody else. I made it my guitar. And she helped me. Come on, where you at? And you gotta wiggle it in there every once in a while. There we go. So, back down. And this. Now, as I said, 1.5 inches. I'll lay it down right in there. I'll give this one just a little bit more slack because I like a little bit more wrap on there than just 1.5 or something. So now we're going to go from here out to here. And we put it all the way down inside there. And we wrap it like that. Oops. And yeah, with the little skinny strings, they don't like to stay in that well. Put it back in there. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one. Yep, come on, cuss. Alright, you know what? Finger right there. Oh yeah, and you also need to make sure you're underneath the little string tree. there's always a little technical difficulties when filming a video, but you have to have patience. Darn it. Now we're going to start